Oh, hello. Now what I'm doing is I'm checking the alignment of this bracket with the spindle on the machine, because I have an adapter that I made here and I need to put a bushing to support a horizontal arbor. And I discovered that this is offset a little bit here. So the bushing is going to have to be bored in place. And I checked it with, I got the indicator here. Maybe I'll get you off the tripod and we'll look at it. Might be better. Okay. Now I got this indicator here. So it's zeroed over on the other side. And this, I believe, is the lowest spot right here. And we'll get it to the highest spot. And it's just about 10 thousandths offset. Now I put the horizontal arbor in here and deflected it a little bit. And if you deflect it 10 thousandths, it's going to put stress on it. So what I'm going to do, get around to this side, and I think I have that piece somewhere handy. Let me look. There it is. It's over here. I'll get there. Don't knock a bunch of other stuff off. Okay. So this is the adapter here I'm going to put in, and I'm going to put a bronze bushing in this, okay? So that'll fit in there. I'll set that here. Now, these overarms here have gear teeth on them, and you can move the overarms over here and move them with a wrench. And I got to unlock that. Let me do that. Get over here, and this is how you unlock it. Unlock these overarms. You can see some damage on the top, some rust and stuff. This is what happened when this was out in the junkyard. But it doesn't really seem to affect the accuracy. I did discover that one of these overarms is 1/1000th bigger than the other, and it won't fit in the other hole. So these things are somewhat fit together. Okay, so you can move the overarms here. See the gear teeth under there? Okay, I'm going to pull this indicator off there with one hand. Okay, set that down here. And so I'm going to have to put this adapter in here, put a bronze bushing in that hole, then use the overarm adjustment to drill the bushing. See, put a drill on a chuck here and drill it. And then I got to put a boring head in it. So I'll make an adapter to, come off there, it's kind of long-winded, to adapt this cute little boring head into the 50 National Bubba spindle here. Big spindle. Okay, so I'll drill it, and I'm going to make an adapter for the boring head, then I'll bore it. Now, I'm going to finish it in the sun and hone, and I'll tell you why. Because it'll create a better bearing surface on that bushing than using a boring head or a reamer. And I can fit that bushing pretty tight. Now this mill here, it's a lot different in many ways. And what this was an early version of a sliding head mill. And other companies came up with some really good ones, like the Cincinnati with the powered overarm and all that. And what Brown and Sharpe did, they did this for a very short time, and then they come up with what they call the sliding head mill. And the whole head slides. And it is a pretty desirable machine. I haven't seen one in a long time. But the Cincinnati was really a better design because it had the 50 spindle here, then the big 50 spindle on the overarm and a bunch of attachments. So this is kind of an early stab at that design. Kind of innovative for Brown and Sharpe. This is also a wartime machine that ended up in the Manhattan Project out here at Hanford. Out here in Hanford is where they produced the plutonium for the first nuclear weapons, and this was out there. And there was a few more of these machines out there, see? Now the problem with this design here is when the vertical head is down, there's very little distance from the spindle to the table. So later designs were a great improvement over this. But this is just going to be a really fun little garage machine for me. Okay, so I got that to do. A few little things there. And I got a part to make on the fabulous Monarch 10EE. And, you know, I had I was talking to a guy I know that's he's got a 10EE and he's got a hard-in HLVH. His Monarch is an older one that's in perfect condition, like this one here. And he says, you know, like these old lathes here, you know, it'll turn 12-inch length, you know, a couple of thousandths taper, about 2 thousandths taper, turn in a straight length. On this machine here, it will definitely easily do 2/10 of a thousandths. Okay, so this will do 2/10 of a thousandths taper. This one will do 2 thousandths taper. And the difference between the two machines is about $135,000. Okay, and that's the difference. Okay. Now we got an old jig board here ready to do something, and the cutter grinder, well, I'm still working on those boring bars. I got the sun and hone ready to hone this bushing, then I still got to do a bunch of steps, you know. And I'm really glad I checked out the alignment. You don't want to put something together under a bind. So that's gonna make that pretty nice. Then I'm also got the dividing head on here, and I had a problem with the keys that go on the bottom here. I had a screw broke off in the bottom of the dividing head, and I got that fixed and got the keys back in. And I got this footstock here on eBay. It's an import, but it's good quality. And it's got adjustment for height and stuff, so I'm getting that set up at the right height and trying to figure out about its table keys. I'll probably just leave it like it is. They're a little narrow, but just, you know, knock the thing around with a hammer, I guess, until I have to do something different. But this is really a neat machine. You know, it got drug out in the weather, and nobody wanted it. And it was sitting by the highway, you know, out here across from the community college for 2 years, and nobody bought it, but I did for $500. But it's a lot of work. Okay. The sun's coming out outside, and I can I got just a couple things left on that old axle laid out there, and I just keep busy, I'll tell you what. But I thought, you know, some of the old milling machine people might think that this is kind of an interesting machine. I sure did. I'm really glad I rescued it. You know, it's not a really good for commercial work in a lot of ways, but you know, you can make a buck with it, and anyway, make really nice parts. Okay, I'll do some actual work here pretty quick. Thanks for looking.